All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're tackling AI in finance. And let me tell you, this is way more than just hype.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about real, concrete ways AI is being used in finance right now. Not just possibilities, but practical applications. And we're going to look at how to actually make these AI projects successful, too, because that's the real challenge, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's one thing to talk about the potential, but another thing entirely to get it right in practice.
Right. And to help us get a handle on all of this, we've got some seriously insightful analysis to work with. 𝗖𝗂𝘀𝘁, he's got some strong opinions about who's actually making AI in finance work. And spoiler alert, it's not just about the technology.
It really isn't. 𝗖𝗂𝘀𝘁's piece, it really zeroes in on the importance of specialized data scientists.
Yeah, and he calls them the key players.
Yeah, and he's right. I mean, they're the bridge between all this complex financial data and actually using it to, achieve those big business goals.
So like the people who can actually make sense of it all.
Exactly.
Okay, so I get that we need data scientists, but why are they so crucial in finance? I mean, lots of fields use data, right?
Right, but finance, it's a different beast altogether. It's like, imagine you're trying to make sense of millions of transactions happening all the time. And then you've got the market going up and down, regulatory filings.
Yeah, tons of rules.
Tons of rules. I mean, it's just this crazy volume of information, and it's complex.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So it's not just your average data.
Oh, absolutely not.
And 𝗖𝗂𝘀, he doesn't stop at just saying we need experts. He actually lays out these 5 key takeaways for anyone who's trying to actually make AI work in finance. And the first one, it's kind of obvious when you think about it, but it's that, complex data needs, well, experts.
Right. Makes sense. Like, you can't just throw any data scientist at a financial problem and expect them to, to solve it. They really need to understand all the intricacies of finance. Things like risk assessment, regulatory compliance, the ins and outs of how financial markets actually work.
It's like you wouldn't ask, a chef to build you a rocket ship.
Exactly. You need the right person for the job. I mean, take fraud detection, for example. Let's say a bank wants to use AI to catch fraudulent transactions. They need a data scientist who not only understands how to build that kind of fraud detection model, maybe using something like a neural network, but also understands the specific types of fraud that pop up in finance and how those activities actually show up in the data.
Yeah, so that's a very specific skill set.
Oh, it's incredibly specialized.
And, 𝗖𝗂𝘀's next takeaway is that compliance, that can't be an afterthought,
Oh, absolutely not.
especially in finance.
In finance, you just can't have an AI system making trades or decisions that, that break the rules. I mean, it's just a recipe for disaster.
It's like building a self-driving car, but it doesn't understand, like, the rules of the road.
Exactly. It's just going to cause chaos. It's not safe and it's not practical.
Right. And that's why these, like, tailor-made custom AI solutions are so important in finance.
Exactly. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Right. You can't just rely on, like, off-the-shelf stuff.
Right, because those prepackaged solutions, they just miss the nuances.
They miss the details.
Right. They don't understand the specific needs, the regulatory environment. It's just not going to cut it.
Yeah. I actually tried one of those smart investing apps, the ones that promise to, like, manage your money based on some algorithm. And let me tell you, it did not get me.
Really?
It did not understand, like, my financial goals or even my risk tolerance.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I think that's a perfect illustration of why that customization is so important. It's not just about the tech, it's about how it's applied.
Right. And that actually brings us to 𝗖𝗂𝘀's third takeaway, that there are no one-size-fits-all solutions.
Exactly.
No shortcuts. All right, well, let's move on to his fourth point. This is where it starts to get really exciting for me.
Okay.
AI can actually predict trends, not just crunch numbers.
Isn't that wild? Just think about it. Instead of just reacting to what the market is doing, AI can actually help you anticipate those changes. It can see those patterns and signals that, we as humans might just completely miss.
So it's not just about automating tasks. It's about getting ahead of the curve.
Right.
That's a real competitive advantage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're already seeing it in action. And you've got hedge funds using AI to predict stock prices, banks using it to assess risk, even insurance companies.
What are they doing?
They're using it to forecast claims. It's incredible.
And 𝗖𝗂𝘀, he mentions a great example of this in action. BlackRock.
Yeah, BlackRock.
The world's largest asset manager. They're using AI to make decisions about how to invest billions of dollars.
Billions.
Is mind-blowing.
It's a perfect example of AI's potential to make really complex decisions more efficiently and more effectively.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on to that last takeaway. Number 5, aligning tech with strategy.
Right, because at the end of the day, AI, it is just a tool.
It's not magic.
It's not a magic wand, exactly. You need to have clear business goals.
Right. Like, what are you actually trying to achieve?
And you have to make sure that when you implement AI, it's actually serving those goals.
So all those specialized data scientists, they're really the key to making sure that happens.
They're the ones who can connect the dots, see the big picture.
Right. Okay. So for everyone listening, I want you to think about your own world, your own work.
Yeah. What challenges are you facing?
Where could AI potentially play a role? What are some of those big issues in your industry that, AI could maybe help address?
And here's something else to think about. AI is getting more and more sophisticated all the time, especially in a field like finance. And as that happens, I think it raises a really important question. How do we make sure that AI is used responsibly and ethically? That's something we all need to be thinking about.
Right, because with great power comes great responsibility,
Yeah.
right? We've covered a lot today, but if there's one thing I hope you take away from this whole conversation, it's that AI in finance, it's not just about the technology itself. It's really about the human expertise behind it. And those specialized data scientists, they are the ones shaping the future of how AI is used in finance. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
See you next time.